What's up, guys?
What's happening, man?
What's up?
We're back.
We're back.
We're back. After yesterday's enlightening discussion, we're
Which I
back.
missed.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were under the weather.
I'm blissfully unaware about the Matrix
Yeah.
and the concepts, but I'll
How are you feeling now?
I'm better.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
recovering from jet lag,
Ah,
but
yeah.
better.
And plus, from beautiful weather to terrible weather.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Yeah. So what's happening, guys? What do we talk about today?
And I really feel that we should be probably sending a message most of the times that we're talking, but mainly at this point of time, I feel I'm very disturbed by this thought of how art, or in general, in music or dance or any sort of art, is just a hobby.
Okay.
I'm very disturbed of that this has become a fact in today's time,
Yeah.
that people are considering it only as just a hobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I remember a time where it was forced upon us to
It was
learn.
necessary
It was
much,
necessary in
yeah.
every household. It's
Yeah.
necessary to pursue some sort of an art.
Yeah.
And though at that moment we felt like, oh, this is very forceful, why are we doing this and this, that, but we had no other
Yeah.
option but to do
Yeah.
it, only to realize later how it was helpful
Yeah.
in so many aspects that it is unexplainable.
Well, primarily discipline.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the main.
Yeah,
Discipline in the
right.
first place,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
you can't see in today's time,
Yeah.
because this is not a norm anymore.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a. It's not a necessity, a need anymore. It's
Yeah.
become. I feel that it's become very. It's for those who probably can afford it or not afford it. It's become almost like that, and plus it has become like, we need more time,
Yeah.
from our kids.
Yeah.
So just push them away, and
Yeah.
we want to be doing our things. by
Doing us
ourselves.
have our own time away from the noise that
Exactly.
our
Yeah, and if you look at
Exactly.
it like from a personal perspective,
Mhm.
I hate the way people view what I do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because there's still a lot of people who don't understand the fact that this is what I do for a living,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They find it very difficult
It's so
to-
crazy that even today,
Yeah.
I have to explain myself and say, oh, I dance
Yeah.
and I play music.
Yeah.
And people say, so what else do you do?
Exactly. That's
Even
so
now-
frustrating.
Yeah.
That's
even
seriously so
now-
frustrating.
That's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
frustrating.
Even
yeah.
after YouTube and Facebook and Instagram
Yeah.
is right there in your face, and there are 1,000 artists, young artists,
Yeah.
doing this for a living, and even then people don't seem to understand that this
Yeah.
is a viable option.
Yeah.
Or even if it wasn't,
Yeah.
I'm getting judged.
Yeah, that's
So-
I think the idea of being an artist nowadays is measured in the same breath as you measure a professional in any other industry.
Yeah.
So and the success in those industries is simply in terms of how many things do you own,
Like
or
monetary
how many,
gains.
yeah, monetary gains.
Yeah,
And
of course.
while I don't say that that's not fair, but it's kind of unreasonable to think that as an artist you cannot have those monetary gains. Today we have artists who are making a career out of being a professional artist, but whenever
Yeah.
I speak to people and tell them that
Yeah.
I have decided to be a writer, or
Yeah.
I want to make films,
Yeah.
so the reaction is exactly the same.
Yeah.
So what else do you do?
Yeah.
So how do you make your money? I said that's exactly how I make a living. But to them it's like incomprehensible. It's like
Yeah, it's an alien idea.
Yeah.
They just don't seem to get past the thought that playing some music or doing a little dance or
Yeah.
writing a few sentences can get you by.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if you aren't making that money, you're on a path.
yeah.
That is
that
even
they
harder
would
to
never-
explain to
That
them.
is
Yeah.
something that
because you're not known
Yeah,
enough, maybe.
Yeah.
Like not everyone knows what part of what profession you are into right
Yeah.
now, but you're still
Yeah.
pursuing it.
Yeah.
So that process takes a while.
Takes a while.
And I think only artists understand that.
it's all about, again, patience in the first place.
Hmm.
Which patience is something that I shouldn't say normal people
Yeah.
or regular people,
Yeah.
but I mean with people who are not pursuing art. Patience is almost like an alien idea to them. everything has to be done now. Everything has to
Yeah.
be done now. I
Yeah.
want this now. I want that now. I want this.
Yeah.
I want to be in this place of my life at this age
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I want to have a baby right now. I want to. These
Yeah,
are
yeah,
things.
yeah,
this,
yeah, exactly.
this is how they've learned, and this is how they've built themselves.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I mean, finally, as how we were talking yesterday about how these people are chained on the wall, and
yeah,
that entire
the
concept
allegory of the cave by Plato.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and people don't want to come out of that. They don't
Yeah.
want to come out of this entire this thing of I'm comfortable. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I
It's
don't
about
want to
taking
do.
a risk.
Yeah, it's about
Right?
taking that risk,
About
doing the
being
hard
blinded.
work.
Doing the
Honestly,
hard work.
that's the thing that
Yeah.
worries people.
Most
I think,
importantly,
hard work.
believing in oneself.
Yeah.
Like I could contribute something
I
to an
can
art
even
form.
do this.
I
Yeah.
can make something within an art form which
Yeah.
will be fantastic.
Yeah, I
So
think
that lack of discipline
Yeah.
which comes along with this process. So a few years ago when I was still in college, I realized that my way of thinking was a little different from everyone else's.
Yeah.
In a way that I always like to think structurally. Like I
Yeah.
will present any problem which comes to me, you present it in a way that what they call there is a hypothesis. Like there is a hypothesis and there is a null hypothesis. Hypothesis is that you will be successful at something, whatever problem you're trying to fix. Null hypothesis is that you're not going to be successful at it. First, you frame the problem that way. Then you find steps to prove your hypothesis. How exactly do you go about solving this problem? How did this way of thinking come into me? It was through years of doing different things.
Yeah.
It was years of writing. It was years of playing sports in academies.
Right.
People training me that you can't just get up one day, pick up the bat and score a century. It doesn't happen that
Yeah.
way, because more than your ability to hit the ball, it's your ability to understand what is coming at you and how do you play the field.
Yeah.
So you have to structurally understand that problem. But when I was in college, throughout those years, I was thinking very structurally. I would take a problem, I would break it down and figure out a solution accordingly, which is how you go about in a disciplined way to solve a problem, no matter where you are. But what I realized was the people, and I had a lot of people around me, my batch had like 800 people.
Yeah.
And I could not find a single person who was thinking the same way. When we got into analytics classes to understand that, okay, this is how research is done, I could totally get it, because that is how we have been breaking down problems in the past. That is how, in a disciplined way, you break down a problem in any art form. So if I'm talking about music, like we discussed yesterday, that it is practice which gets you to that level of performance, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, when you tell people who are even working in the largest corporate organizations that you know, they are only worried and they are exhausted by the process,
Yeah.
because they are not looking to solve a problem anymore. What they are doing is they're constantly circling around that problem. Now, if you are an artist, if you have ever been trained as an artist, you would know that, okay, fine, there is this one thing that I need to figure out.
Yeah.
There is one thing that I need to do justice to, and the only way I can do it is by practicing again and again and again. That's the only way. Like that conversation about the door.
Yeah.
If you practice enough, eventually there'll be no door that you can't open, right? But nowadays people are just not thinking that. That's why when I say that I'm going to write a book and it's going to take me time, it'll take me a few months to write it. I write one draft, then I write the second draft, then I write the third draft. People are baffled. They don't even think that that's a viable process, because in their head the first draft is the final draft.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's over. They don't understand that it's that fine-tuning bit which is the most difficult part of the process.
Which also requires you to have that amount of knowledge and thought to recognize and realize that these are the flaws in it,
Yeah.
which doesn't come easy and doesn't come in a short span of time.
Yeah.
That is what really you have to be very patient for.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen with just overnight, like you could practice. Honestly, you could practice very hard, doing this thing.
Yeah.
And you could you would have written let's say 10 books in a day. You practice writing 10 books in a day, but if you didn't know that some of these things are not okay, this has to be fine tuned, if you had no idea about it, you would have published it. All
of
your
course.
10 work is of
Substandard quality.
It's not going to be of the best, which we all aim to be.
Exactly.
Every artist, every writer, everybody, every filmmaker is looking to be the best in their field.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, this doesn't come to the point where you want to be, because you miss out on these fine-tuning things which you learn over a long period of time with experience. And when you think of these things, these are not topics that a general public or a general crowd would know about. You know, the people who are stepping into it for the first time, for them that idea is, oh, okay, you know what, I've been doing my boring life, you know, for whatever I've been doing it for, and now I want to do something change, some excitement, something new I want to do. So let me pick up some art form. That is the thought process.
That's more in terms of picking it up as a hobby.
So that's what I'm saying. So eventually it has, I mean, over a period of time, I think this has become this way, that if you want to get out of your monotonous life, which you have to, if you want to get out of your monotonous life, which you have to, just pick up an art form. And which is very downrightly forced down your throat. I mean, because in our time, I think when we were learning, the only occupations that you could have gotten into were doctor, engineer, or
lawyer,
a CA or a lawyer,
accountant.
That's all. You can't even touch CS because people don't know CS. ICW don't know ICW. What is that? CA.
Exactly.
You have to be a doctor means you have to be a heart specialist. They don't know.
No, it's true. Like, there is nothing strange about all of this. We had this conversation in my home when I was a kid. When I was, so in class 10 we have to pick up the specialization, right? Everybody wanted me to take science. I'm telling them I'm not, I will not be able to do justice to this, but they don't care. Like, you have to be some sort of an engineer, you have to be, like, not everyone in the family, of course, but let's put it this way, the people who made the decision enforced this thing, and eventually it was the same conversation, that you have to grow up to be either a doctor or an engineer. What else will you do? You've played cricket enough, you've played any other sport enough, now let go. Now you can't pursue a career in all of this. I said, fine, I mean, I guess since you're elder than me, you're probably making a better decision than I am. But as it turns out, I've taken a complete U-turn and come back to where I started. Like, even then I wanted to be a writer, even then I wanted to do things which were not, one would consider
So
mainstream.
I wouldn't, like, point a finger at people who would take it up as a hobby, because it's not everyone's calling. Right? So but the thing is, for whomever it is a life source, I don't think the direction that everyone else sees within them is straight. It's all messed up. Like, no one seems to understand the flow. You know, it's really hard to, and then after a point you feel like, why the hell am I even trying to
explain
get through? Because this is not going to happen.
You're not going to break down
because
that wall with them.
Because it's such an experiential thing. The process is so sorted in your own heads.
Exactly.
That you feel like, why bother?
The best way to explain it to them is to tell them to go through it yourself. That's the only way you'll be able to understand the discipline that it takes to be an artist. Because
but also, I'm sorry, I feel like sometimes you need orientation. Right? A lot of people don't have any kind of orientation towards art form.
I was about to come to that point also.
So when, for example, people come to our school sadhana, some of the parents are very keen that their children should do something, you know, in the arts, with zero knowledge, which I appreciate, because at least they have the want to push their kids into something so that they have that discipline in their life and everything. And then there are some parents who come in with the thought that, okay, I need some free time right now. Keep my kid for 1 hour. Make the kid do whatever you can. I'll come back. You know, that kind of
Those
thing.
kind of people are also
And then
there.
there's this third kind, which really baffles me every time I will meet them. And that's the kind who think that, oh, कितना time लगेगा learn करने में? अच्छा, ODC, okay. 3 महीने में हो जाएगा? And you're like,
3 months.
3 महीने में हो जाएगा? So those are kind of people who need a lot of orientation.
Those are also those kinds who would say, हमारे बच्चे का ना performance है, पहली performance ठीक कर लिया. This kid knows nothing. You fix the performance for this kid already.
And we want
the kid to perform. Can you just teach her that one piece or whatever that you can teach her? Yeah, we can teach her to stand with her hands.
And in Namaskar position.
And then just come and walk off.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's ridiculous. So that's what I'm saying. Like, these people need orientation because kids are innocent. They are up for anything.
That's true.
When they're young, you can mold them.
Yeah.
And when you show them a space like Sadhana is providing, right?
Yeah.
Or even encourage them to go for concerts for that matter.
Exactly.
Or go to an exhibition.
Yeah.
They
Expose them to
understand,
that,
they
basically.
understand
That's
that
the point.
culture. They understand where this person, my teacher, is coming from, and why she's talking like this, why she's giving me such broad visions of things I can't see.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That also has to
And
come
it
with
grows on
age.
them. It grows.
Yeah.
It really grows on them.
Yeah.
And I feel in some way then they are affecting their own parents.
Yeah.
And they start telling them things that they haven't heard before, and they can see good results from it.
Exactly. So it's always about result. I mean that till the time they don't see a result, they think that this is not
A
worth
waste of
it.
time.
Yeah, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
But when we talk about orientation, it usually I think in our Indian culture, this is very normal to have some or the other music playing in the house.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let it be religious, spiritual, whatever it is, but some music playing in the house.
Yeah.
Our moms always from the beginning have been doing this.
listening to
Yeah.
whatever.
This has been happening in every household.
Yeah.
Was happening. Let me rephrase
Nowadays,
that. It's not happening
very rare,
anymore.
Very rare.
And subconsciously that affected us, and we are oriented towards it, and we find it to be normal to play music.
Yeah.
Right? In today's time, this is not happening in the houses at all. People don't play any music in the house. They don't have time.
Yeah.
They don't have a music system.
And they don't care because they're so occupied with so many other things and living the life in itself, which is so difficult. They are so occupied within that they don't think this is a necessity.
Correct.
What they don't understand is that it has an adverse effect on your child. Because that child, if you suddenly out of nowhere, maybe when at the age of 6 or 7, you want them to do something in art and you push them into an art school, and they come here and they see this to be, whoa, I don't understand this. This is not something I've seen before.
For them, it might be intimidating also.
It's very.
Most kids get zapped because it's so quiet here.
Yeah.
You know, the silence sort of eats them.
Yeah, like they wouldn't have experienced that environment before.
Exactly. So I think it all starts from there. It all starts from home, and for me at least, it started from home.
Yeah.
And no matter how distinctly I remember what was playing and what was not playing, and how and I don't remember how it helped and it did not help, but I know that subconsciously that thing is still sitting in my head, is why I can match a note.
Yeah.
Which in today's time, kids are completely out of sync. And they don't understand what we're trying to say. So I don't know how this also happens. This is a major thing that we ought to figure out. We ought to figure out. Every Indian kid knows Sare Gama Padanisa. I don't know how we know this. Where did you learn it from in the beginning? Who taught you this first? Or where did you hear this? And how can you sing it perfectly in tune?
Interesting.
The correlation, between every note.
It's very difficult. It's like a step or whatever it is that we found out as the theory is a later on thing. But every bloody Indian kid knows Sare Gama Padanisa. And and it's normal. But when you tell them that Sa is the first step, Re is the second step, Ga is the third step, and so on. Now you go to the first, second step, then come back. They can't do it.
Oh yeah, they're lost. Exactly. Because they've not visualized.
It's like,
that.
I'll tell you what it's like. It's like how children can say A to Z in a sing-song all together. But if you ask them to go
from P or
go back from here or go forward from
he says back.
They're like,
I mean, I think I would face that.
I got reminded of a very strange childhood memory of this, of saying ABCD.
Yeah.
Of course, like I knew ABCD, EFG.
I think I've already laughed.
There was this one time where I would always rush through LMNO PQ. Every time.
And in the recitation you repeat it also.
Yeah, you have to. For the first few years, I just used to say LMNO PQ. I didn't even know that there is an L, M, N, O, P, Q. It was always LMNO PQ.
Like that's one alphabet.
Yeah. That's a section of the alphabet. We don't know what it is. It's just there. So yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to that point, like ABCD, when people are actually the kids are saying it out loud, they know what it means to a certain extent.
Yeah.
The same should be happening with musical notes. Like when because we can visualize the alphabet similarly when they're talking about music, it should also be like that. So
yeah, but that's
I think Saregama now is in their head is that element.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
they just
memorize it like that, or they just remember
There's
it
so
like
many
that.
myths that we ought to like come out of. Like
Anyway, like that's all.
Ringa roses.
So
Yeah.
It's not ringa roses, man. It's ring around the roses. Good
Kids
lord.
will stop playing that.
It's all about smallpox. All these things were all about smallpox and stuff. Anyway, well, not digressing from the topic.
Smallpox? How is it about smallpox?
No, it was all these poems were made at a time when smallpox was very widely spreading all over the place.
Oh.
And they were these poems. I'm not exactly sure of the wordings of it, but I know it's not Ringa Ringa Roses.
Okay,
but they were for they were to spread the word faster, like
About
the
the
poem
disease?
about the disease. So be careful, and things like that. It was like a warning. This thing, which so they say. We say hi sha, hul sha, we all fall down. It's basically I shout, you shout, we all fall down.
Oh.
It's
Okay,
like,
I thought it was something war related.
Yeah, I thought it was a game that you play with
that's
holding hands
what
and then
we
you
were
fall
taught.
down.
That's what we were taught, but that's not it. That's not it. So it has a very completely. I'm not exactly sure. I'll do
that's cool,
my
but this
research
is
and I'll
good
talk about
information.
it.
I
But
never
yeah,
knew
this.
Yeah.
This is like that. It is like that. All these poems were like that.
Anyway, we should take this up.
Yeah.
This
is there's so many myths to
we
break,
have
man.
terribly half-baked information.
Now we should be more informed about this before we talk about it. But this is good information.
But I'm sure of this.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure of this, though I'm not too sure of the actual details. I'm sure of this that it's not Ringa Ringa Roses.
So that even we should
I was pretty sure about it till now.
So when I faced that, I was like, whoa. No, I don't want to be woken up. Put me back.
It's too bright.
It's too bright. Yeah.
I can't see.
I can't see. No. So I mean, this is a common problem, and I think it's spreading like a disease. Amongst our generation.
The coming generation,
especially
the ones who are
they are getting affected
in those
by
formative
this.
years now.
And
I find the newer generation to be a lot more inquisitive. I find that they want to do their research about things and they're open to new ideas. I can't say that they're closed up and they don't want to listen to something new.
Okay. Yeah,
that's if you're talking about the generation or the crowd which is somewhere around 15 to 18.
That's the impressionable one. That's the impressionable age.
I mean, because prior to that, these kids are all in today's time completely lost.
Before that, it's home, right?
Yeah.
Everything starts from home. So it's not like you can go around door to door and explain to them something like this. And also, you can't force people to want to be in an art form. Like, I have to tell my students sometimes, I hope you're here because you want to do this. Because I can't force anyone to play an instrument or to dance. Don't do it. And I personally speak to them when parents are not around and ask them if you really like doing this. Because if you don't, it's not your thing.
It's not going to work out
Just
no matter how much.
And there's no hard feelings. Because not everyone has to,
No, but that's
not everyone.
I say not everyone has to do the same art. I'm not saying everybody has to do the same.
art.
My
I'm
point
talking about any art. Any art.
No, I feel that is where I would contribute, and I say everybody should do some art.
Yeah, the gamut of art is so broad.
But because art is in a way imitating life, so you can't really escape it. Unless you're making sure you consider it a hobby which costs a lot of money and it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
If that's your perception, then it's miserable.
Yeah, it's quite miserable.
And you're losing out on a very colorful life. But
and it's not just, I think it's one of the most basic human emotions.
Yeah.
The ability to express.
Yes.
Like it could be through an instrument, it could be through words, it could be through slam poetry.
There are things you can't speak out of words, but you could do it through
color, maybe.
anything.
You can just dip your hands in color and put it on a canvas and it could work.
Yeah,
like
you can't deny that kind of fun to
Exactly. And I think it allows people to discover a side of themselves which they will not be able to discover till they indulge in something like
exactly.
this.
Yeah. But more than people taking it up, I have an issue with the way people see me when I do something. You know, it's just vague. Like, it's not my agenda in life to make everyone experience what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
But I'd like to share my experience the way I have.
Yeah, that's
at least be able to talk about it. Currently, I feel like I can't do that because they're closed up about a lot of things. They have.
Yeah, I mean, when we initially began, there was the hordes of students because it's a new thing. Suddenly something came up. We had like a good number of students in the school, and we were teaching them, and eventually I think our ideologies of how we were teaching this entire thing was because we was too serious about these things. I think we
lost out on a lot of students.
We literally lost a lot of our students. In fact, 80% of our students.
Because their excitement suddenly fizzled out when they figured that, if I have to play a guitar, if I have to look cool with a guitar in front of a lot of people, I have to hurt my fingers.
Yeah.
And I have to get calluses on my fingers.
Yeah, which I do not wish to. And I didn't know it was this hard. I thought it was too easy.
My arms are going to swell up from doing my up and down strokes.
So you know, at the end of the day, when you come to living a life being a musician also, you finally then you say, okay, man, I mean, if I don't have students, I don't get any money. And if I don't get any money, I don't pay my bills. It's simple. So to pay my bills, I need more students. And if I have my students, and if I know that they're going to run away, if I'm going to teach them something serious, I'll have to teach them something which is fun and for them, and then try and slide in some important things and not. So again, it is so torturous for us. I mean, forget it now being, it is not torturing any of the students anymore, but it is absolutely,
you have to take
us.
I think this is where the role of the parents is most important.
Yes.
For a child, of course, it's going to be like the first time a child bites into a chili.
Yeah.
They are going to feel like, oh my God, what just happened to me?
Yeah, I'm going to die.
Over time, if a person develops, like I did, I developed a taste for chili over time. It wasn't something that came to me naturally in the beginning. It's not as if my family forced me to eat chili. But then, over time, I developed that taste. Similarly here...
But what they did force you to do was read.
Yeah.
You should be thankful.
I'm very thankful. Most people do not have that privilege. They poured books on me and they said that it's important that you're well read. Initially, it was very difficult because... I wasn't really the most avid reader in the beginning. I wanted to just be out in the mud, playing all the time, doing something or the other outside, spending time with my friends. But they made it an equally important thing for me to be well read.
Right.
If tomorrow nothing else, you will be able to hold yourself in a conversation better than anyone else.
Yeah, sure.
And that has really, really paid off. Like that has been a great thing. So
it's become your thing.
Yeah, like right now that is my thing. That is the only thing that keeps me going most of the time.
I mean, speaking of that, you just released a book on Kindle.
On Kindle, that's my second book, and it is
it's on Kindle? I thought it was on... okay.
No, this is my second book.
Oh.
My first book, My Way, is not...
It's already on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, you can buy the hardcover there, but the second book, which I've now published, is a Kindle book. And it's a 3-act adaptation of a...
Is it an audio book?
Well, we are trying to make it. We'll hopefully get there soon enough.
Nice.
But it won't be a traditional audio book.
Okay, as in?
I'll just say that much right now. Okay. Because we're still trying to figure out exactly how it will be presented. I mean, I don't want it to be the traditional person reading the book. More like an audio experience. Let's put it like that.
Sounds great.
So I mean,
these are the things that you can do being an artist.
Exactly.
One of the few things that you do.
I write. Okay, and this is something new which is happening right now. I would not be able to accept this if I had not accepted myself as a writer in the first place.
Exactly.
Just like these young kids who come and say that my hand is aching, I can't put my fingers on the string. It is very important that in those formative years, they have figures at home who say that it doesn't matter. your skin will grow back.
Exactly.
Your muscles will become stronger. You will become taller. The guitar will be in your arms and you will feel like it's a good thing after a few years.
Yeah.
If you do not have that support.
That push is missing a little bit.
And then it becomes the complete opposite when people get older. You know, when they cross that threshold, if you have to start after the age of say 18 or 20, once they hold it, now you are back to being that kid, but now your conscience is strong enough to push you to not do it. Now nobody else has to come and tell you that no, you have to do it. You you first tell it to yourself, and then after a while, like, oh God, I can't do this anymore. I have better things to do. I have a report to write. I have an Excel sheet to fill out. I have this person to talk to. I have that person to. I have to go drink. I have to go do this. I have to go party. And this, when you are a child, all of those things cease to matter. You are a little blob which can be molded into a perfect being. So if parents take that responsibility and are able to instill that idea in their children that this is the hard work. If you learn hard work now, hard work later will make a lot of sense to you when you're building your career.
It's not just hard work. It's about experiencing new things.
That's also a very, very important part of the process actually.
If your household is continuously talking about hard work, in my head, that'll turn into do your homework on time, study for all your tests. Because kids are attending school primarily. They're spending more than half of their time
in school
and doing things for school. So that's what it will translate into.
Exactly.
But if you're lucky enough
to have an art,
like my folks, they take you out for a Ravi Shankar concert one day before your 11th grade examination. Right, the night before. And I was a little worried, but I did decently well in that examination. But my folks didn't care. They were like, he's a genius. You must have that experience in your life.
You must listen to him.
You cannot miss it. It's happening in City 4 and we have to go. And we went.
So in another major problem in today's time regarding this is that the people in our generation who have kids and or who just these young kids who are growing up right now, they feel that they need to empower them with all sorts of things, that they should do everything by themselves. They should decide for themselves what they want to do and how they want to do. All that is good. You're giving them the freedom that he wants to play the guitar and that kid is 4 years old. I'm like, what? What is wrong with you?
He doesn't know the difference between a keyboard and a guitar.
I mean, he saw it somewhere, he's got excited. And now if I show him how to play the keyboard, I want to do that. Next moment if I show him how to play the drums, I want to do that. A kid is not going to know this.
Exactly.
And they feel like they're giving this enormous amount of energy by giving the child being liberal and freedom that they didn't get and whatnot, which is so wrong. You're going to literally spoil the entire child's decision-making skills.
Exactly.
This kid is going to keep making these decisions and keep letting it go because it didn't work out. I did because this didn't work out. That didn't work out. Our parents, even though they did not know about the entire world because the internet wasn't there, but they knew what they wanted their child to do, or there was no option. There was no option asked from us. I learned Bharatanatyam for 6 years. I didn't get any option to not do it, and I enjoyed it later. That's a different thing. Because I was thinking of myself, Kamala.
Pretty girl.
Come on, admit it.
Okay. I even performed with them, but no, but the relation was to Kamala Hassan and Prabhudeva. So I was like, man, they do it so nice, I can do it. I can also do it. So I found my way to like it. But it was forced upon me to do it, but then I liked it.
See, but I'll tell you, the thing is that, like you're saying, the parents are doing this and that. I think the time when we were young and our parents were young, the world wasn't so competitive. The intent of all the parents right now, of course, is in the right direction. They want their kids
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
better.
I mean, I'm not blaming them to be like that.
I'm not saying
but I'm
blaming,
saying
but I'm just saying that
giving the freedom to a 4-year-old to decide if he can drive a car or not is ridiculous.
It's silly.
Yeah, it is.
It's meaningless.
I'm not saying
but
anything
I'm
else.
trying to say,
I know the direction is right.
Probably what I'm trying to say is the world wasn't that competitive back then. And that's why
I agree.
parents
I agree to
weren't
that.
pushy in so many different directions.
I have a feeling that most of the time this thing of empowering our kids is like dinner table conversation for people.
How?
They don't really understand what it means to empower someone. It's not that you give them the freedom that you decide.
I'll tell you.
That little blob can't even decide between crayons and sketch pens right now.
Exactly.
So
What to eat and what not to eat. Yeah.
I think in my head, the moment when you have empowered your own kid is when you allow the kid the space to question you.
Exactly.
Question you back.
Yeah.
Question your beliefs. Question
And be
your
able to
decisions.
answer that.
Yeah, and answer them.
And make space for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's when I think you've really empowered your own
Even
kids.
I think so. That's a very, very good thing.
But then again, it comes, and that too will come by age, right? You give that, you tell them to ask the question at the right age.
But that happens when it's instilled from the start.
Yes, exactly.
Because you explain to the kid you're doing this because so and so.
Explanation is not there.
It's not you do this because I say.
But at the same time, it's not you do this because you want to.
Yeah, it's also not that.
Yeah, that's also not
do
right.
whatever you want to do.
No. That
you have to find the midway.
That's direction. That's direction.
That's directionless, and at the same time, being hard-nosed about what you want your child to do is also directionless. Like it's going to push that person to question so many things that they don't have an answer to.
I like how we're all having these amazing discussions about children and parenting when we have
no kids.
We have no kids and we don't have plans of having kids in the future. So it's very simple to talk.
Oh man.
But
let me say one thing
but I feel like
not all plans work out. Okay?
No. No, but I feel like having the experience of meeting so many parents and so many young children at the school for the last 5-6 years, I think I can vouch for the facts that I have given out.
That's given. Yeah, that's not the problem.
It's the experience now.
I mean, people, even though being under pressure of competition and so many other things, they are really trying their best to give the kid the best environment. Okay, let's agree to that.
Of course.
They're doing that, and they're doing it with so much love and time and patience, man. It takes a lot of effort to bring that kid to a class and leave that kid and then come back again after 1 hour to the same place. Who would want to go to one place, do whatever that they had to do, come back and go back to the same place in another hour? Nobody, and they manage that time. And it's not just this. They put them onto sports. School. I mean, there's so many other things, tuitions and whatnot. So they do that. They give that time. And unfortunately, these few little things which could shape that person or that kid to be a gem in tomorrow. Time is something that I think everybody's missing. It's a simple logic. I mean, I'm not vouching for the fact that one has to be you have to be a dictator. I'm not saying you have to dictate what your kid should do. Present the right options and say these are the only options. At least do that one. And then you have to see where that interest is coming of that, for that kid. You see that kid watching something, and then you can judge by their looks and their excitement. Oh, this is good or not for them, or they are liking it or not. And then you have to decide. Once you've decided, you have to stick to it. We've had students who've skipped classes, or jumped instruments and classes in our school so much that they could not find out which was their
calling,
which is the thing that they have to do. And that happened in 1 month, 2 months, sometimes a year. Now you're letting the kid explore the whole thing, but you're wasting so much time of that kid. In that entire span of time of learning, that kid could have learnt it so well if you would have just stuck to it, said no, you have to go for this class. They don't put their foot down and say you have to go to this class. अच्छा बेटा नहीं जाना है, ओ कोई बात नहीं बेटा आज सो जा.
Yeah.
What brats are you like?
No, but this is something like this is a very important bit about children exploring art. But we have moved from discussing art in itself and profession, going to parental habits with their children.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not. It's absolutely one of the most important
I believe it's a part of it.
No, it's another important thing which comes out of this is with the professions. If you had to compare, I don't know why I'm doing that, but now that it's out there, commitment.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
One of the biggest things.
So I've noticed people who have a corporate job have very minuscule liabilities or what do you say?
Responsibilities outside of the work?
No.
No, you can't say that.
I mean loyalty towards a workplace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're looking for your next scale up. Right? It's not. I think previously that used to be the case.
Now
when
it's
you're
not
with
there.
a company, you want to be there.
That's the thing that you constantly
that you want to work for, and you want to get better with
that
those
commitment,
people.
That 30 years, 25 years.
So I think that has completely vanished.
It's gone
in the corporate setup, right?
But we wouldn't know. Can't say completely.
See, but you can't say that to all of them, but most of them. I'd say most of them are like that. I agree with you.
In many cases I've seen
make it clear, I'm talking about my friends.
Okay.
The people I know who have corporate jobs. I know that every other time, and when I say every other time, I mean probably once in 6 months or once in a year. When I'm in touch with them, I hear that they've got a new job. Right?
Scaled up in some way.
And it's normal. Like it's not a big thing. And it works the reverse way with the arts. If you have a mentor or if you have a guru,
stay with
your
them.
commitment is everything.
Is lifelong.
So that again can be very daunting for a lot of people. Right? So I think
that's a big thing. Like that's a reflection of our times also. Like I guess I agree. Most of the people who even I know are choosing this kind of stepping structure.
I think it's fine also because that's just how the.
But if you see their behavior outside of that workplace, also it kind of reflects that mentality perfectly. Like they are not willing to commit to anything, which at least I can see. I'm sure that this is a bit of a generalized statement that I'm making, but sometimes you can see that reflection. The same behavior, that there is no commitment to anything else. There are conversations, there are thousands of conversations, there's thousands of discussions about we'll do this, we'll do that, I want to do this, I want to pick this up, I want to do that. I remember once somebody saying me, I wish I was more creative. So what does that mean? What is that? I don't understand that. What does that mean?
Creative?
I could be more creative. Then create. I don't know what that means. But anyway, so that's what people nowadays are their priorities in certain things are very fleeting. And it kind of reflects from what they do the most, like their job, which takes up most amount of their time. If you see the kind of behavior they follow there, it becomes a reflection of them in other realms of their existence as well. So
I feel like we're casting like a vast,
very, very vast judgmental net.
We can be. I think if it is for the betterment of
observation.
Tomorrow,
like I don't want to be. I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe given the times, it is a good thing.
It completely depends on your priority.
Yeah, exactly. Actually,
as a human being living a life. It's about what keeps you happy. Right.
True.
If walking to your workplace versus
taking a cab,
having a Mercedes,
if that is your
does
priority,
it for you, then you gotta work your ass off, work how many ever shifts, scale up how many ever companies
times
you
that
need
have to,
and do overtime, don't take holidays, and and you're there. I hope you're there.
But I hope
if you spend so much time doing that.
And if just sitting outside in the hot sun and playing your guitar makes you happy while sweating without a fan,
that's your call completely.
That's your call, man.
Completely.
I think this whole new liberal idea of being so liberal about everything and everybody, I think it's growing a lot on people in today's time. And I feel that it has to I feel that at the end of the day, even if that is there, art is a must. It has to be there. It has to be there no matter
I'm
what.
not denying
I'm
the
saying
fact.
that even if you
because
want to
like
drive a bloody Mercedes,
Like-
you need some music in that for you to to
that's what I'm
soothe you.
trying
Oh my
to
God!
say.
Have you ever sat in one of those cars?
No, I've
that's
not.
what
I
I'm
have
trying-
had the bad fortune of sitting in one of
I've
those
not.
cars with a CFO of a company,
Oh wow.
going to his office to interview him. And it was a long journey. It was a 32-kilometer journey in Delhi.
Tell me he was not listening to music.
He was not listening to anything.
Yeah,
and
see?
after a while, I told the guy, "Ki, bhaiya, radio on kar do."
This is where I rest
For
my
our
guitar.
English viewers, that means I asked the guy who was driving the car, "Please switch on the radio." You know what he said to me? "I can't."
What do you mean I can't?
And this guy's not saying anything. He said, "I can't." I said, "Matlab? Meaning?" He said, "I just can't." I said, "Okay." And I sat back in my car, staring at the face of the 64-year-old man, thinking that why aren't you saying something? I want to listen to something. We can't just sit in this car and not talk.
Maybe he was like snoozing.
Not talk and not listening to
He's just sitting there. Every once in a while, he'll put out a report from his bag and he'll say that, "You see, my company has done this now. We are actually going to expand to this now." Great. Let's wait till the office. I'm going to have to look at this anyway. I have to ask you all of these questions anyway.
Imagine it.
Yeah, and the very idea that sitting in a car with your cool AC on and not listening to something, even if it is somebody talking on the radio.
But have you ever thought of those people who stress out while driving and so they don't want music or anything else?
Maybe
In the
this,
car?
Maybe,
this
yeah,
guy didn't
maybe.
seem like that.
But he wasn't driving also, the driver was driving.
Yeah, even if the driver was
Strict
the person
instructions from the owner.
from the owner, cannot.
No
I was
So
not
see, it
listening.
was not his
Yeah.
choice.
I hate
It
those
was the-
people. Now it's
it was
veering
the
off a
owner.
little bit, but I hate those people who ask their drivers to wait in the car and not switch on the AC. You know,
That's crazy.
and in this weather, I've seen those kind of people also.
Yeah, there are tons of those kind of people.
Anyway, that's
Anyway.
completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, a hobby. It's become a hobby. It's not a normal thing anymore. It's not it's not a necessity anymore.
Yeah.
It's just plain
I think
hobby.
even if people have those ideas in their head, at some point in life, they are connecting with an art form.
Yeah.
They're just doing it unconsciously. And for those lucky few who can actually realize it, they can enjoy some more.
Yeah.
But you can't escape it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can escape it.
So
Because
whether
it's
you-
all over you. It's everywhere.
Well, I don't think it's whether you'll be able to escape. There's no without art, without music, without literature, without cinema, without painting, without poetry, without all of these things,
Without dance, I mean,
Without dance?
mainly.
this world is not the world that we know today.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But if a kid can see a little breeze on a tree
Yeah.
and feel the leaves dancing,
Yeah. That's also
there's art in it,
there's art in it. I
and
do
you can't
agree.
escape it.
Yeah.
There's
But
beauty in it.
but
and you
for
can't
that
escape
matter,
it.
the kid has to know what a dance is, na?
Oh.
Yeah, that's that is a true point. So I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing, and maybe we can.
Yeah.
So there's this one writer who I really like.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he's an Italian writer. His name is Italo Calvino.
Uh-huh.
He wrote all his literature in Italian, have been translated to English now. 2 of his books I've read so far, because it's that difficult to actually read his books. It takes time, patience. One is If on a Winter's Night a Traveler, and the other one is Invisible Cities. Now, If on a Winter's Night a Traveler is a book in which you're reading 4 books at the same time.
Like parallel stories?
And none of them come to a conclusion by the end of it. I was angry. I was very angry when I read that book. But I realized that the past 3 months that I've invested in this book has probably opened my mind in ways that no piece of literature that I've ever read, narrative based, has opened up my mind.
Because it was all open-ended.
It was open-ended,
For you to-
and you didn't know which story are you in at a particular point in time. Like, if you left the book and you came back after 3 days, you're lost.
You lost.
So you have to read the entire book. So it was an avant-garde style of
Nice.
writing. And his second book, Invisible Cities, is a fictional tale about 2 very real people. Marco Polo. Have you heard of Marco
Yeah,
Polo?
yeah.
Marco Polo was Kublai Khan's in Kublai Khan's court, Genghis Khan's grandson. In his court, he was a prisoner. He was kept there, given off as a prisoner to Kublai Khan by who was it? Was it a Roman? Was it a Greek guy? I don't remember exactly. So a Greek person, somebody left Marco Polo there. And Marco Polo is now tasked with explaining to Kublai Khan, who does not move out from his kingdom, unlike his father, doesn't go anywhere, to explain the various cities that he's been in. Here's the thing about the book. You don't know when he's telling the truth and when he's lying.
Oh, wow.
You just don't know, because, and after a point, even the emperor is like, what the hell, or what are these cities that you're making up? They can't be anything. By the end of it, you realize he was actually explaining the same city, and he's explained the same city at least in 120 different ways.
Wow.
It is the city of Venice. And Kublai Khan, through all of it, has been thoroughly entertained.
Perspectives.
Now, the reason why I'm saying this, Italo Calvino could not have written these books if he was only doing what he was doing, which is that he was a journalist.
Yeah.
In his mind and in his life, he was exposed to so many other things that somewhere or the other in his mind, this fantastical narrative developed. And he put it down on paper, which I am reading today.
Yeah.
And I am privileged that I am able to read it today.
Yeah.
So art, number one, does not have to stay within the confines or the definitions that we have given it.
Yeah.
Sure.
It can extend well and truly beyond anything.
That's true.
So people, I think, should stop thinking in a way that I have to go to a class to indulge in art.
Yeah.
I have to go and read something online. I have to learn the tenets of something online.
Just have to do it.
You just have to start doing it. You pick up an instrument and you start strumming it. Tomorrow, once you understand, hey, I actually like this.
Yeah, that's how.
Then you reach out. Then you go to class. Then you go and meet someone.
Absolutely.
But in some way or the other, art should remain a part of everybody's value set.
Yes.
It's going to keep you sane.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
If nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even the people who created these wonderful scientific creations, somewhere there's an artistic bend of mind inside them, right?
Absolutely.
They saw something which other people did not. Tesla.
Pattern. Yeah, Tesla.
He saw something which no one else saw at that point.
Yeah.
But
so many things.
Yeah.
So many things. Creator of all that we are using right now.
Yeah, right now. And I have a feeling of a lot more things that will come in the future.
Yes, are still going to be his ideas. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
for those who think that
good.
art is only a hobby, it's a foolish way of thinking, because it can be a lot more than that.
yes.
It could be everything
Or write
that
to
you
us
want
with
to
your
do.
reasons and say why.
Yeah, if you think that it cannot be,
if you have a better idea, write to us.
Yeah, write
Tell
to
why.
us.
I might say my way or the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, but please do share your thoughts with us and let us know what you think about this topic and how important do you think art is in everyone's life now.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening.
The email ID that you write to is raisethequestion.india@gmail.com. Let us know.
Yeah.
See you in the next podcast.
See you in the next podcast.
All right. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Bye.